Here is a video explaining the necessary papers that need to be taped into your interactive student notebook for our first ISN test on science fiction and technical writing. Please make sure that your cover has been updated and completed. You should have the title Interactive Student Notebook on top, your name, our class, the school year, and the period that you have me for English. So let's get ready. The main part for the ISN test is that you make sure everything that we've done in class has been taped in and is completed. This is not a test you need to study for, just simply prepare by taping things in. So I'll start at page 9, which is a table of contents of our entire unit. This is attached as a photograph in our assignment for the ISN test as well as the School Loop locker. Anything you are missing as I review this will be located in the science fiction folder in our English 8 locker on School Loop. So again, page 9 is table of contents, and we will continue going through each page in this video. Across from this is the literature textbook search, where we got an idea of what our textbook entailed and what was in there. And the textbook search is going on page 10. On page 11, I have a warm-up from 9.5 looking at the literatures of genre and asking you a little about the genres you have read. Across on page 12 is your graphic organizer for the genres of literature. We reviewed all of the aspects of literature. On page 13, I have a warm-up from 9.6 talking about what science fiction is, and then you wrote a summary of science fiction. You also placed underneath this warm-up your predictions for the short story we read in class called Rain, Rain, Go Away. Directly across on page 14 was the graphic organizer and active reader, Rain, Rain, Go Away, where we connected our experiences and also facts and details from the story to draw conclusions. And again, that's page 14. On page 15 was a warm-up where we discussed the pros and cons of technology, and you discussed technology discussion questions so that we can connect it to science fiction. On page 16 across from that is the PowerPoint on science fiction. Again, right here you are seeing in the video are my PowerPoint notes that I've printed out, but yours will be handwritten, where we discuss the 4 elements of science fiction. If you are missing these notes, please see the locker to download them on a PowerPoint. Again, on page 17, I have a warm-up from 9.12 about foreshadowing, and then we made a concept map about science fiction key elements, and across from that is a T-chart from the story we completed on future tense. So you can see the T-chart is there, complete with page numbers, looking for those aspects of science fiction in the story. So that's on page 18. On page 19, I have simply the graphic organizer for the different aspects of science fiction in the story, There Will Come Soft Rains. And directly across from page 19 is page 20, where we've actually taped the story, There Will Come Soft Rains. On page 21, there is the extension that you wrote for future tense. So I had you write an extension quick write story on the story future tense and those elements of science fiction. Across from that was the graphic organizer we created for watching Jerry Was a Man and identifying again the 4 elements of science fiction in film. On page 23 is the analyzing technical instructions, where we actually got to look at real technical manuals and analyze good things about them and bad things to have excellent examples for technical writing and our manuals for tool of the future. Across from that are the technical writing notes. These are the notes we did fill-ins for how to write a technical manual. Again, these notes are on page 24. The notes themselves are in our School Loop locker if you are missing any of these. On page 25 is the microwave instructions for how to use a microwave. So again, we practiced looking at good resources and skills for technical writing, and then looked at how to read and write with technical directions. And again, that's hinge taped. Page 26 are my directions for the Tool of the Future project. Page 27 was a sketch of your Tool of the Future and a warm-up from 9.27. Page 28 was the rubric we looked at for effective writing and rubrics for how to write technical documents. And again, that's on page 28. On page 29 was the warm-up of how to write a technical diagram or technical document, and you explain that using your cell phone. So we talked about how to write a text message, and you described that using technical writing skills. And then on page 30 is your verbal technical writing directions, where you had one person observe, one person giving the directions, the other person building the shapes, and had to identify the good aspects of good technical writing. And we did something very similar on page 31, except this time we did it with origami and practiced technical directions with origami. And on page 32 is our active skill reader, practicing with I've Been Rooked, practicing how to read directions on how to play chess, and on the back, how to do the crocodile. Make sure the back is filled in as well. And again, that's on page 32. So please make sure you fill everything in, and you should be ready for your ISN test.